with the big news this week that there is a new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, the first ever American Pope. One of the biggest deals in finding out his true Chicago heritage was whether or not he was a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan. And what did we find out? In the end, he was a White Sox fan. His brother came out via WGN exclusive, clearing the air, saying that he has always rooted for the South Side and has been a major Chicago White Sox fan his whole life. Now, it's kind of funny because to start out, the Cubs thought someone reported that he was a Cubs fan. The Cubs came out celebrating and even put up on the sign outside of Wrigley, "Hey Chicago, he is a Cubs fan," but really, he roots for the South Side. He roots for the Sox. And what does that mean? He is a very devout and loyal man in his nature, not just arguably the most loyal and devout man in the world now that he is the leader of the Catholic Church, but really that the fact that he's a Chicago White Sox fan tells us so much about Pope Leo the 14th. So much so that some people are supposing he chose Leo the 14th after number 14 of the Chicago White Sox, Paul Konerko, team captain of the 2005 World Series championship team, to which in Game 2, Paul hit the go-ahead grand slam against the Houston Astros.
The bases loaded, 2 out with Konerko up, and he rips one into left. Konerko, grand slam.
A game that the new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, could have been at, as there's a picture of the Pope in 2005 at the World Series on his portable cell phone, either Game 1 or Game 2, as it was in the South Side, but whichever one, it doesn't matter, as both of the White Sox won both games, meaning that the Pope was good luck for his beloved White Sox in that game. And it's just a fun tidbit of American knowledge and just knowledge in general, that sports have such an important factor on our society that it really matters to a lot of people, including myself, what team the Pope roots for. Knowing if he is a Chicago White Sox fan, a New York Yankees fan, it doesn't matter. You can tell a lot about a person based on what team they root for. And like I said, in his nature, you know for a fact that the new Pope is a very loyal and devout man, courageous in his fandom, simply because it is so hard to be a Chicago White Sox fan coming off of the year where they lost the most games in history. But simply put, it's a great knowledge. It's fun to share. It's something cool that, again, really, it just shows how important sports are in our culture. And I'm a big fan of that simply because I'm a big fan of sports. And it's something, again, that's going to have little or nothing to do with his papal duties and leading the free world, other than maybe getting him to go to a Chicago White Sox game at some point and maybe getting a nicer seat than he would have gotten before now as the Pope. But I just think it's pretty cool and interesting and a fun little bit of knowledge that, again, if he wasn't the Pope, no one would have ever known that he was a Chicago White Sox fan other than the people close to him. But now, because he is the leader of the Catholic world, it is a huge deal that he is a Chicago White Sox fan, bringing some light to a very dark era in Chicago White Sox baseball, and maybe that can bring them some good luck in the future here. Who knows? Like and follow for more.